Welcome back to the Morning Mindset edition of the Live, Build, Change podcast. My name is Kerry Green. I am just a fellow journeyer here on this road of faith that we travel, seeking to know Christ better every single day of my life, because that is the calling that He's placed on my life, and I trust that that's why you're here on the Morning Mindset as well. We've been talking about the issue of wisdom. What is it, and how does it work, and where does it come from? And primarily, we've been looking at the book of Proverbs. It's known as a wisdom book, and it was written by the wisest man to ever live, Solomon. And we are looking at various things having to do with the nature of Proverbs, how they're general statements that apply to the situations of life. And sometimes they apply exactly, sometimes they apply somewhat, sometimes they don't apply at all because it's just the particulars of the situation. But sometimes they are a broader, more general term or saying that applies across the board no matter what. And we're going to look at one of those today. I alluded to this verse a day or so ago, but it's Proverbs chapter 9, verse number 10. And it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight." So he mentions two things there that are beneficial to us in terms of wisdom and in terms of insight. The fear of the Lord and the knowledge of the Holy One. Now those are synonyms, similar phrases. They are essentially saying the same thing, but we need to unpack them a little bit to understand the depth of them. The fear of the Lord, I've mentioned before, is two things. It is an actual fear. The Greek translations of the Old Testament use the Greek word phobos, which is the word we get phobia from. And so there is a sense of legitimate fear of the Lord, because of the difference between who He is and who we are. You know, He is a holy, righteous God who can rightly judge the entire earth. And we are among those on the earth, and we are very different than that. We are sinful, rebellious creatures who have turned away from our Creator. And so there is a sense of fear in knowing that that is who He is and that is who we are. And it is by His grace that we stand at all. So it's that kind of fear I had of my dad, you know, when my friends would say, "Let's go do so-and-so or such and such." And I knew that if I did it, my dad would kill me. You know, and of course he wouldn't take out a gun and shoot me, but you know what I'm saying? There was this fear of my dad that was appropriate. And we're talking about that kind of fear when we talk about the fear of the Lord. But we're also talking about a kind of respect that recognizes He is the Creator and we are His creature. And that our place, our rightful place, is to be under Him and submitted to Him. And so that kind of fear is the beginning of wisdom. It's where wisdom starts. Because if you are thinking of yourself in terms anything other than those, you are thinking wrongly about yourself. And so wisdom is already derailed. The second phrase says, "The knowledge of the Holy One is insight." So understanding God, understanding who He is and what He is all about, gives us insight. It's the start of us being able to view the world rightly, which really brings us back to why this Morning Mindset edition exists. I originally started recording these daily inspirational encouragement audio versions because I know that we all operate better in any given day if we're looking at it through God's perspective. If we have the insight that comes from knowing who He is and how He has situated us in the world. So today, as you approach your day, stop for a moment and take a deep breath. Cast aside all your cares and align yourself with this concept of the fear of the Lord being the beginning of wisdom. And know that as you humble yourself under Him, He will give you wisdom and guide you in the situations and relationships you have to navigate today. Let's talk again tomorrow on the Morning Mindset.